Hello again everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're back on the Guide to Gold series where I take you through a lap and give you a bit of tips on how to get gold in the latest online time trial on Gran Turismo. So today we're at Autopolis and the BMW M3. So yeah, not a very common combo. I think a topless, very technical, tricky track that is it's quite hard to get right and nail completely, and it's also not the BM. It's not the as common cars as we're going with the road car and sports hard tires. So yeah, not the easiest combo to get right, but I think if you kind of get the flow to it right and you get in the rhythm, you can definitely get gold. It's quite yeah, it gets quite. I think it's quite fun. It just takes a bit of time to like get into the flow of it. So, yeah, hopefully some of the pointers and tips I'll give in today's video will help you guys get the gold. So let's just head into the lab before we start. Let's actually see what is gold in them. So I currently did a 203.092, which puts me 125th in the world. Definitely gonna go down quite a bit since it's the basically still the first day of the time trial. So you can see there, um, 205.380 is your gold time. The world record is currently 201.729. So I think anything in the 204s, I would think you're probably quite safe on gold. So yeah, I think a high 204 you should probably see you safe to get gold. But yeah, let's get into the lap. I did spend about say a good about 16 minutes on the session. Did a couple laps before this as well, so it took me a while to get into it. But yeah, I think as I got along, then um, yeah, got into the flow and then um, yeah, kind of knew what I had to do from there. So yeah, let's start the lap guide. So in the first corner, you really want to rev out this car, don't really short shift too much, only really short shift out of direction. So coming to the first corner, you're going to be looking for the 100-meter board as your brake reference. So you can see I'm actually on the brakes quite a bit before that. If I can just get my arrow up, there we go. So I'm actually using the orange marker before that to brake. As if you can go on the 100-meter board, you can actually brake. You're gonna outshoot yourself on the entry, and then you're just gonna mess yourself up in the exit. So I would actually brake a bit earlier. Use the orange marker on the left, trail brake into the corner, and try and be early on the throttle to get a good exit. So you can see going down to second gear, and I'm gonna short jump in the third, try and straighten as quickly as I can, make full use of that curve here on the left, make most of the track, and then coming up to the next section. Next one, you can basically use the 100-meter board to brake if it's a bit too late for you, and you then brake just before this, maybe 10 or so meters before this, and then you're gonna notice quite a while that I'm gonna stay on the brakes. It just helps you get the turn in and then overshoot the corner. So you can see I'm on the brakes, but you can see I'm still holding the brake until basically coming into the turn, and then I'm on off the brake. So you need to hold it very long there. And then this one, you're just gonna the trick for this one, depending on how much speed you carry, um, to actually impact how you take this one. So you kind of want to stay. You don't want to go too far out wide because these cars don't have as much downforce as your GT cars or your cars with a high end downforce. So you kind of just want to keep it tight and just carry the speed rather. Um, and then yeah, you want to keep it more narrow, but just carry the speed through. Try and go on throttle, and then you're gonna use the curb here on the end. So I'm braking before that curb ends, and then try and make sure that you stay as narrow to the next corner as you can. So you can see it down to second, but you're staying narrow. I'm rolling the car actually for a bit, half throttle, and as soon as you can straighten the car up without the car going, then you full throttle. So yeah. For this one, also a very tricky corner here. Same principle applies here. You don't want to be going out wide here and trying to get um, that wide line in and then V-shaping it in. You actually want to stay as like tight to the apex here. Carry good entry speed rather. Try to be early on the throttle going out. That's going to be your best way to take this corner, and that's kind of a trend with the road cars in general. You don't really want to go out wide. You want to keep them more narrow. So you're just kind of half throttling as see there, off throttling, and you're going to be on the curb as much as you can. I don't really have a reference when to go on throttle, but what you want to do is you want to make sure when you do go on throttle that you're maximizing the space towards the end. So you see, you really want to make sure you go as wide as you can. I've even been on the curb going on the grass here, so that's kind of for your measure there. You want to go on full throttle and go all the way up to the white line. Go to the next section, another tricky section here with the braking marker. So I'm braking just after the 100 meter, basically the end of this white barrier it meets the gray one, and then you want to make sure that you on that curb as much as you can without overshooting it. So brake down to second gear, you see slightly overshoot it, but I get a good exit. Try and straighten the car as soon as you can to go on full throttle. It'll help with the exit, because if you do go on throttle while turn, you can study at no lose time. I'm using 100 meter board just after, it's just basically after the orange on the brakes, but then make sure once again that you stay on the brakes for quite a while and just ease into the turn by going meeting both apexes. So see, I'm on the brakes, I'm staying on the brakes for quite a bit, hitting at apex. Go a bit wide there, you can use the track, but going a bit wide there. And then yeah, same tip again. You're gonna stay on the brakes, and you can see now I can roll the car in a bit. But key tip is just to make sure you're staying tight to this curve. Yeah, you wanna keep it narrow, and that will help you carry like the best speed into the corner. So you see, keeping it minimum speed up. So you're gonna have a small lift as you're coming over this curve here, and almost just before this curve over there. Then you're going to see I'm going to go on the brake. So this one, you're not going to go full brakes, you're going to go kind of half brakes, but you just want to carry good speed in. And what you need to be thinking about here is trying to get the next exit right, which is coming up around the corner. So it's a very awkward one. You don't want to also carry too much speed, as you will go off the track. So you see that I'm kind of half braking. You just try and carry the speed, a small clip on the throttle just to open up the corner a bit more. And then you see I exit back in third gear to help with the traction. And you can see there, it didn't really brake. I just lifted a bit. You want to make sure you turn in a bit early as you can. You see I'm all the way up on this curve here to help with the entry into this corner. So really make sure that you go wide here to help you get your entry for the next turn. So I just had a slight lift. As soon as you go back to throttle, make use of the full track on the left, on the right side, and then down. This one's a very awkward corner. This can really make or break your lap. You don't want to be going too wide again. Once again, try to carry as much speed as you can by staying narrow. So you want to keep the minimum speed up. If I can maybe go a little bit back. So as you're coming here, basically as you just come to this curve here, just after that curve, that's where you're going to brake. But then make sure you're moving the car all the way to the right already to try and like just carry that speed, because like as you're going, it's like slightly cambered corner. It does you can carry more speed than you think. So you don't want to carry as much minimum speed without going too wide. So you see I'm half braking, just being patient. You just really have to wait on the throttle, and once that corner opens up, go full throttle. You can make a piece of that curve there, and then yeah, that's a lap with the Autopolis. The BMW M3, it's a very technical circuit, a very tricky car also, especially in the lower gears. But yeah, if you're carrying that minimum speed, that's probably your best way to get that time. So yeah, let us just go over the lap again, and you can see a full lap with Autopolis. So as you said, looking for the orange marker there on the left, gonna go down all the way to second gear. Try and open it up nicely, short jump into third, make use of all the track on the left, and you're gonna rev it out all the way through. Looking for the 100 meter block on the left, you're gonna hold the brakes as long as you can. I kept it in third for this one. With one throttle, you're gonna lift slightly to keep it quite narrow into this corner, and then full throttle all the way up into that curve. Just before the curve ends, you're gonna brake, keep it narrow to this curve again. Second gear, try and straighten up as soon as you can. See I had a little moment there to avoid that. You can stay in third gear and bring it over to the left. Try and once again, just make sure that you're close to that apex, and as soon as you can go on the throttle, back on power, full throttle, revving it out. all the way up, looking now for the 100-meter point just after the grey barrier starts. Can go down to second gear. Once again, try and exit the corner by straight, turn the car straight as you can to help with the traction. Looking for the 100-meter point on the left just afterwards. You're gonna brake, keep the braking for quite a while, stay on that apex. Try and be early on the throttle, but don't go too wide like that. But getting these speed once again, just keeping it tight to that apex there. A small lift coming up here, and then just before the curve, you're gonna go down second gear, carry a nice speed. You want to open up the next turn for you, up to third gear, get apex, and then once again try to go wide here on the apex to try and open up the corner as much as you can. Full throttle, make use of all the track there, and then don't go all the way to the left. Try and just carry a nice speed and keep it narrow. And now you're just gonna have to be patient on the throttle, go full out on the throttle, try and take it as narrow as you can, and then that's the lap at the Autopolis. 203.092. Pretty tricky one. I think just kind of need to keep on doing the laps to get in the swing of it. Yeah, like it's a fun combo, but it's harder than it looks. But I think if you use these pointers and tips, it should help you guys get gold. And then yeah, hopefully that will get you guys the 2 million credits. So I will leave you guys at that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, if you found it helpful, please leave any comments in the comment section below. Any tips or anything else that you want to see that worked or didn't work for you. And then yeah, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers everyone, bye.